Hey guys, what's up? This is Subham Kumar Agrawal and welcome to my YouTube channel, that is DU Chemistry. So in the last video we have done with this expression that is shown to you, that is the QR, that is the partition function for the rotational of the molecule, for the rotation in the molecule. We have done with this expression, but what I had said that it is still incomplete. It is still incomplete, so we will deal it with today. Alright, so this today's lecture is lecture number 14. Okay, so now let's start. As I had said that this expression is at incomplete. Alright, so what the thing which is left? The thing which is left is for example, if I take the water molecule, then these two conformations of the water molecule are like, which are indistinguishable. Means in a water molecule there are two conformations of the rotation. Here we are just rotated 180 degree. We had just rotated 180 degree along this axis. So we get the conformation which both found to be same. So and both are indistinguishable. So this kind of thing we are neglecting, which we are neglecting in our expression, that for a molecule, if such kind of rotations are there which are indistinguishable, so what is the factor which is covering this? So here we had taken a new thing. That is the sigma. Sigma is the new thing which will cover these symmetry elements or the symmetry operations which are indistinguishable. What I had written here, indistinguishable. What I am saying, for the molecule, if there are such like that, two conformations are possible which are indistinguishable. Two or more conformations will be possible which are indistinguishable. So there should be a one factor which would cover this rotation, because these rotations are indistinguishable. So we will have to something which will cover this indistinguishability. So this sigma is the factor. This sigma will be the factor which come in this expression. If you will see, QR equals to KBT upon, so this sigma we will put at here. So this expression will now complete. This expression is now complete for the rotational partition function. This expression is now completed. Alright. So the thing that I want to tell you, that this sigma is what? This sigma is the number of the indistinguishable conformation after symmetry operations. I hope here I am assuming that you people had done with this. So those symmetry operations, when you employ or apply these symmetry operations, then this conformation, same conformation you are getting. If you are getting the same conformations, so with those same conformations, there is a factor which is the sigma, which will cover all those indistinguishable conformations. If they are the same, then those cannot be distinguishable. So there should be a factor, and that factor is the sigma, and this sigma factor will come in the denominator of this partition function expression that we had written here. Alright. Now this sigma what we had discussed, so there is a proper value of each kind of molecule. There is a proper value of the sigma of each kind of molecule. For example, here I had given the important values which you have to just mug up. You need not to very deep, you need not to go into very depth of it. If you just thoroughly go traverse over these values, you can just able to understand it. Because for example, here A2 is given, molecule A2 type, like N2, H2 type of molecule having the sigma value 2. So you can just easily memorize it like A2, so its sigma value will be 2. For AB, there is only one atom. For example, AB type molecule are HCl, HBr, CHCl, NaCl. So such kind of molecules have which have one cation or say one anion. So the sigma value will be 1. Similarly, water has 2 hydrogens, so it can be 2. In sulfur, 2 oxygen, sigma value will be 2. Or NH3, 3 hydrogen, so value 3. And for methane there are 12. So how you can study it? You can memorize it by these point groups. 4C3, I hope that you had read all these. So in the methane, the symmetry will be 4C3, so 4 into 3, that is 12. So you can easily memorize the sigma value by just knowing the point group value. Alright, now here we have benzene which has D6H point group or the symmetry group. So here in this molecule we have 6C2 symmetry. Here we have a 6C2 symmetry. So when you multiply 6 by 2, you will get 12, and that 12 will be your sigma value. So that you need not to worry about to memorize or learn. You can easily go with these symmetry points and SF6, and for naphthalene you have to just mug up that its value is 3. Otherwise all the values you can easily memorize it. Alright, now what is written here? QR we had done with this expression. And we know that this theta r, characteristic rotational temperature, is equals to B upon Kb. If you forget it, then look back into your notes. You will find it. So we had just put the value of Kb upon B, that is the B upon Kb. So we put here theta r. We had just put here theta r. Alright, so theta r equals to B upon Kb, and now so basically this expression is important. You have to just put the value of the B upon Kb, this B upon Kb as theta r, and you get this expression. Alright, otherwise this is for the expression you will get the value in joule, that you had put the value of the Kb. Or if you want the value in the centimeter inverse, if you have the value of the centimeter inverse, then you can use this formula as well, because the theta r in centimeter inverse, this is for centimeter inverse, you have this value. So you will get this value of the theta r in centimeter inverse. This is for in this for in the joule, and this is for in the centimeter inverse. So you have to just write it down. You can easily convert all of them interconvertibly. These are interconvertible. Alright. Now one more expression here, what is given to us, that we know that the theta r, wait a minute, yeah, theta r equals to B upon Kb. Alright, so B in joule. So B in joule, when we convert it in centimeter inverse, it become BHC. Alright, so upon Kb. And when B upon Kb upon HC, so we had just put this value as Kb dash. And which has the value of 0.69 centimeter inverse per Kelvin. This is very important. If you will understand the depth of it, then you can realize that how important this relation is. Because in the GATE or the NET exams, when you will be going to cope up with the questions, then they had given the value in the centimeter inverse, and if you will use this expression, and if you will use this expression, for example this expression, then there you will face a lot of problems by of the unit conversion. But if you will use this expression at that point of time, then it saves your time, and also will not lead to the unit confusion will be avoided by using this expression. All right, so what you just need to very much clear about is that here b in centimeter inverse as well as kb dash is in centimeter inverse, and the value of the kb dash, as kb dash is a constant, it is nothing but kb upon hc, which has value in centimeter inverse, which has the value 0.69 centimeter inverse per Kelvin, So this expression you have to just memorize it, because in question this will be given to you in the centimeter inverse. Alright, this b value, and you know this value in the centimeter inverse as 0.69 centimeter inverse per Kelvin. So you have, and the question will ask about this, the rotational temperature. All right, so you just have to put the value of the b and you will get the answer in a very short way. Otherwise, if you don't like to memorize this expression, then try with this one, and at least try in your rough, so that you will get to know that how tough it will to cope with the unit conversion. All right, so I suggest you to please try at home, because it will be more better than not to face in the exam, because if you get the thing at home, then you can improve it and can agree with me. All right, so now we have a question of the GATE 2008, the same the question which based upon the same concept which I had told you just right now. So what is the question? The question is, at the temperature 300 Kelvin, the thermal energy kBT in centimeter inverse is approx. All right, so what I had told you the thermal energy is, when it is equals to B, it become characteristic temperature. All right, it will become characteristic temperature, isn't it? So you wait, you have to just find out the thermal energy value. So you no, you have to just put the kb value, and temperature is given to you. You have to just find out the value of the kbt, as kb you know in centimeter inverse as 0.69 per centimeter or per Kelvin, because you have to report the answer in centimeter inverse. Alright, so you have to find out the value in the centimeter inverse, and you know the value of the kb, Boltzmann constant in centimeter inverse, at 0.69 centimeter inverse per Kelvin. So you just have to use this value and put the temperature. You will get the answer 207 per centimeter inverse. So your option D will be correct. So this is the GATE question. Here is only the thing you need to understand is how close you are to the question. You have to just find out that way that how you can solve this question in a very short time because a lot of questions are very much tricky. Where concepts are involved, not the mathematics. A small concept will be involved, and you have to just by using them you can solve that question. You can reach at the result of that question. Alright, so that's what I had told you. That's what was important. Now moving onwards. So one more thing, as we know that theta r is B upon kb. So by putting the value of the b, we get h square upon 8 pi square I. Alright, and the kb will be there. So I had put the value of I equals to nu r square. Nu is the reduced mass, r is the distance between the two atoms. So I have put the value of the I here, and what we get, these all are constant. These all will be constant for a molecule. So what the rest are left, the left thing left thing is nu r square. So theta r will be inversely proportional to nu r square. Will be inversely proportional to nu r square. Nu is the reduced mass of the molecule and r is the average distance between the molecule. Alright, so this will be very helpful when you will have such kind of questions where for one molecule you had given the r and nu values, and you will find out the and will ask to find out the value for the another molecule having same nu or same other parameters. Then you need not to put all these values. You need not to put these constant values at the expression. You have to just take the ratio. So in order to take the ratio, you had to neglect the constants and just focus on the concrete side. That the concrete side here is nu r square. That what actually will matters. So now moving to the question. What I have a question of the CSIR NET 2011. That is the 4-mark questions, and it's shown up to you. And what the question is, theta r for H2 into theta r for D2 upon theta r for HD. HD is one hydrogen and one deuterium. It is a molecule. So whole square is equal to question mark. The question has asked to find out the value of this expression. The question has asked us to find out the value of this expression. And what is given to us? Given to us is that assuming bond length to be same for all the molecules. For H2, for D2, for HD, the bond length is same. What R in the expression? I had said it is the bond length or the average distance between the two atoms. That is the bond length. So R is same. R is same for the H2, for the D2, as well as for the HD molecule. What we have to what will just vary, the variable thing is the nu. Nu is the reduced mass, which is the reduced mass. So we have to just by putting the value of the nu, we can reach out the result. As we know that theta r is directly proportional to nu r square. So we will going to just take this one, and we will ultimately lead to the result. Alright, so let's see how to do it. So here, as we know, theta r is inversely proportional to nu r square. R is constant. So first of all, we need three things. Three new values. Nu for H2, nu for D2, nu for HD. Alright, so we know the new formula m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. So here m1 and m2 are same because H2 both are the hydrogen atoms, and as well as for the D2 both are the deuterium atoms. But for HD it is different. For hydrogen, mass for hydrogen is 1 and mass for deuterium will be 2, and same in the denominator side. So we get the values as shown to you. Alright, now we are just going to put up these values, because the rest of the things will get cancelled out, and just putting all these values we get the answer as 8 upon 9, which is the C1, which is the option number C, alright. Okay, alright, so now moving to the next question we have. This is the question of the GATE 2007. What it is saying that assuming H2 and HD molecules having equal bond lengths, the ratio of the rotational partition functions of these molecules above 100 Kelvin will be above 100 Kelvin. Alright, so we know the two formulas for the QR. Temperature if greater than the theta r. Then the formula will be QR equal to, as we have done T upon theta QR. For the temperature greater than theta r. And what the temperature is given to us? The temperature is 100 Kelvin. the temperature is 100 Kelvin, and we have to find out the partition function ratio of the partition function for the H2 and H2 and HD molecules. Ratio of the partition function for the H2 and HD molecules, but the temperature what is given to us is 100 Kelvin. All right, and we know the formula for the QR having temperature greater than theta r. So first, what is the need? Need is to understand is the theta r value or the theta r temperature is less than 100 degree centigrade, 100 degree Kelvin. Is the theta r temperature value for H2 and HD is less than 100 Kelvin, then only we can use this formula. So let's first check it. So here what is given to you is the molecules as well as the rotational characteristics temperatures. Alright, here what is given to you is the theta r rotational characteristic temperature as well as the molecules. So we moving from the serial number 1, what is given to us? H2 molecule, hydrogen molecule, and its characteristic rotational temperature is 87.6 Kelvin. Alright, so this is the highest rotational characteristic temperature which is possible, and it is for the H2. Otherwise all the molecules have the rotational characteristic temperature less than 87.6 degree Kelvin. All right, tie this one thing with you, that the molecules, the lightest molecule which is H2 having the highest characteristic temperature which is 87.6. Otherwise all the rest of the molecules you will found the lowest you will found the lower characteristic temperatures. As here I had given the four molecules, and moving from top to down, H2HCl, N2Cl2, the molecular mass increases, and as well as if you look on the right side, the rotational characteristic temperature decreases. This temperature decreases as nu increases. Alright, so you have to just mug up or remember one thing, that all the temperature greater than 87.6 Kelvin. Please highlight this point, that I am mentioning the temperature in Kelvin. If the temperature greater than 87.6 Kelvin, then all the partition function of the molecules will have this formula as QR equals to T upon theta, QR equals to T upon sigma theta r. This will be the expression or the formula you will use. Alright, have you got it? I am assuming that you people got it. Alright, now moving to the solution of the question. One more thing you have to remember. That you will never take the ratio of the theta r. Because in theta r there is something which is nested inside of the theta r, that is new, and you have to remember this, that you will never take this ratio. You have to break it down. In parts and find out the ultimate solution. Alright, you have to break it down and find out the ultimate solution. So for the QR for the H2 molecule, it will become T upon theta H2 upon theta r H2. Temperature for both will be cancelled, but sigma H2 and sigma HD will be different. For sigma h2 its value will be 2, but for sigma hd its value will be 1. Here 1 is not written. Alright, and one the rest of the thing, that is the theta r we have to find out differently. We cannot take the ratio. We have to find it in different perspective or different manner, as I have written here. Theta r, now what the ratio we have this ratio, and we cannot take this ratio. We have to split it down. So as we know that theta r is inversely proportional to nu r square, here r is constant, because it is given in the question that the bond length for the H2 and HD are the same, so r will be constant. Okay, so if you put, so you in the this expression, theta r for HD will become 1 upon nu HD. In the same manner, for theta r h2 it will become 1 upon nu h2. So nu h2 will go in the numerator, and nu hd will now come at the denominator. Alright, so we had just put the value, and we got the answer. As 3 upon 8. So what is the option? Which is the option? Okay, so we have A option correct. Alright, so this is how we have done with this. Question. So I think that's all for today. It is more than sufficient for you people. So, and hope you people enjoyed it. And if you like the video, so please subscribe my channel and share the video with your loved ones or with your friends, so that they will also get the benefit of this content and this lecture. So see you. Goodbye. Have a good day.